3 things that may surprise you about living in rural Thailand.
Living in rural Thailand. Number 1, early morning village announcements. In many small Thai villages, there's a community PA system. And from what my wife is telling me, the headman is sharing news and community events. It's part of how people stay connected. But if you're someone who loves to sleep in, you might just find yourself waking up earlier than planned. Also, lumped in with the headman's PA system, farm machinery, firecrackers can be heard from funerals. In fact, I just heard that today. Did I mention roosters? And yes, I did. But there's another bird, and he sounds like this, if I can duplicate it. You'll hear that a lot. Also, I cannot forget weddings and house parties with karaoke. At least these take place starting usually in the afternoon but go into the night. In fact, my wife just told me the business that's right beside our house is planning a party, and it's a yearly event, but it's for their members. It's a co-op, and it's a party. It's happening on Friday, and because they're right beside us, that's going to be, I believe we're invited. Well, she is a member, so we can go. And normally, if there's an event in the village where you're staying, there's a pretty good chance you would be invited. Thailand is a very communal culture. Life happens out loud. Celebrations are shared, announcements are shared, even daily life is shared. The announcements wake us up early, but it also reminds us we're part of a community. It's not bad, it's just different. And if you're used to suburban North American quiet, for example, this can take some getting used to. I'm not talking about rooftop pools in downtown Bangkok. I'm talking about real village life in northern
Almost looks
Thailand.
scary that you can't see much because of the trees, and I don't want to go in there because it's somebody's property, right? There's a house there. I don't think anybody's living there, but I don't know also. I call it a haunted house, but it's not haunted. I don't believe in that kind of ghost. Yeah.
Tropical living is, well, tropical.
Potentially.
If you're imagining cool mountain air and perfect evenings every night, some days
Could be
will
a nice
humble
place to
you.
build a nice house because of
Heat.
all the shade, but
It's winter in North
having a good
America
time
where I
raking the
come
leaves
from
in
right now. Warmer climates
all the time.
is the very reason I first started researching coming to Thailand, and it
Interesting.
hasn't disappointed me at all. I love the heat. Example, the average temperature so far this February has been 30 degrees Celsius, which translates to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Evenings cool down a bit, but we still run the AC in our bedroom a few times on and off, sometimes during the night. Humidity, some days, but I found it's not as bad as others complain about it for some reason. I don't find it that bad. Flies, yes, too many. I can't stand them, but oddly enough, they only bother me when I'm outside. I'm sitting here in the house with the doors and windows are open and no screens on them, yet the flies don't come in. My wife said they do if they smell food, probably like fish or something like that. The mosquitoes, yeah, they can be a pain in the donkey anywhere, even in Canada where we live. They carry Lyme disease, and in Thailand, you have to be careful of Dengue fever. I guess you can get that from mosquitoes or ticks or whatever. Apparently, it's pretty nasty if you get that. And I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Geckos. They're little, those little lizard things. They have a different name for them here in Thailand, which I can't pronounce either. But they're usually on the walls, and I find them to be harmless. They seem to be more afraid of you than you should be of them. They run away when you get close to them. And ants, of course, find an ant. If you drop one crumb on the floor, yeah, they'll find it. And so it's just when it comes to insects and things like that, you just adapt. Enough said. Finally, number 3, convenience is different out here. This one is a big one for retirees and nomads. In a village, fewer Western grocery items, which you can normally get in larger cities, for example, at Big C, Tops, or Lotus, it isn't a huge issue, and you can save money by not always purchasing what you are used to buying back home. And as a side note, you're usually not too terribly far away from a 7-Eleven, which are typically stocked a lot differently than they are in Canada, for example, anyway. I don't smoke or drink, but usually 7-Elevens in Thailand sell beer, whiskey, or spirits and cigarettes. And they don't in Canada, as far as I know. And another thing would be limited restaurant variety. Depending on where exactly you are staying, for example, we are about 40 minutes from Chiang Rai City, but maybe 20 minutes away from a really good pizza restaurant that has more than just pizza. Another thing is things close early, and that usually has to do more with the heat than anything, because outside shops will open super early just to beat the heat. The good news is everything is fresh, or as they say, the early bird gets the worm. Well, in this case, the early bird gets the freshest. Amazon Prime doesn't exist here. There are options like Lazada and Shopee and even Temu. And I've ordered a few things from Lazada and Temu. Items can be cheaper for sure, but always remember these words. You get what you pay for. So do your due diligence. Shipping is usually quick, except when things come from China. Deliveries can take longer simply because of crossing the international border, and they have to go through customs, obviously. But even still, I received my last order in under 10 days, and it did come from China. English isn't spoken widely, so if you aren't like me and have a Thai wife to translate for you, you may want to get used to using Google Translate. And plus, it's also a good idea to learn some key phrases if you plan on staying long term. And don't be afraid to practice it. So if you need constant variety, instant delivery, and everything in English, rural Thailand might feel limiting. But then if you're okay with slowing down, it can feel freeing, and that's powerful. In number 2, I spoke about insects. And there's a couple of videos that's going to pop up on the screen. One of those videos is going to show me actually eating an insect. And it wasn't that bad. So click on either one of those videos, liking, subscribing, and continuing to watch the next video is a free way to support my efforts and gives me incentive to keep learning this content creating and editing craft.